Something a bit more serious now, as tomorrow one of the most popular horse races in the UK takes place at Aintree Racecourse. However, many are concerned for the welfare of the horses taking part. The 2025 Grand National has already claimed its first life with the death of horse Willy De Houelle.
And we're joined by campaign group Animal Rising, and Claudia Penna Rojas is with us, and they're calling for the race to be banned. Hi, Claudia. Hi, Claudia. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So it's a really serious sort of thing, isn't it? This for you, the idea of horse racing, this particular race being such a popular thing, but yet something that is claiming the lives of horses and sometimes riders every year.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's absolutely heartbreaking, and this is an issue that we care about so much because, like most people, we care about these animals and we want what's best for them. And you already mentioned Willy, on the first day of a 3-day event, second race, lost his life, and he was only 4 years old. Horses can live up to 30 years, and unfortunately it's not a unique situation. A horse loses their life every other day in British horse racing, and it's not going to stop until we change things around.
And what would your group want to happen?
We would love to see a transition, working with those in the industry away from racing, supporting workers through this and allowing these horses to retire and live their lives in peace and cared for as every animal should be.
So would that be a total ban on horse racing?
Yes, that's correct. There is no place for this in our society. We're a nation of animal lovers, and what this really is televised cruelty for the sake of profit.
Okay, so it's good that you've got such a clear position on this. I suppose people who are in favour of horse racing either don't think about it very much, or they might say that horses really like to race. Is that something that you can see that side of?
Well, I think horses love to run, but being forced to race, being whipped and controlled is very different. And I understand that culturally it has been a big thing, but so have many other things, so was cockfighting, and we realised that was cruel, and we turned around. And I think a lot of people enjoy horse racing because they enjoy a day out with their mates, and it's completely possible for us to have this without using animals.
Do you think there's any way, Claudia, to have a sustainable fair way to animal racing that doesn't involve banning completely, or are you of the opinion that it's black and white and it's bad for both animal and human rights?
Yeah, well, the reality is that if human athletes were dying at the rate that these horses are, there would be absolute outcry, and we do see that when it is exposed what's going on. In Cheltenham last year, there was one day where 3 horses died, 2 of them on the same day, and one of them, who was called a Buffalo Soldier, died minutes after crossing the finish line. And this was televised, and people saw what is usually hidden away, and there was so much outcry because the minute it is exposed, people are rightly horrified. And we can put all these welfare things in place, but the reality is it is a PR stunt, and if we really care about these horses the way we say that we do, we need to stop racing them to the death.
And your organisation supports peaceful protest.
Yeah.
And do you want to just tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so we believe that that protest is a key part of democracy. It always has been. And we were there. I think a lot of people saw the protest that we had in 2023, where we were there at Aintree with the attempt to try and stop the race to protect these animals and to call attention to this huge issue that's going on, because we believe that people do care about these animals. They want what's best for them, but so many people don't know the reality of what's going on in this industry, so we need to be having a national conversation about it.
So do you think that more information and highlighting these issues will encourage people to maybe boycott or avoid animal racing and betting on these animals as a way to spread that awareness? Do you think it's an ignorance problem for the majority of people that currently do enjoy horse racing?
I think absolutely we need to be talking about it. We need to be exposing the reality. Like I said, I really believe that most people care about these animals, and many people go because they like seeing the horses, they admire them. But there are better ways that we can have these connections with these animals, and people are turning their backs on the industry. We've seen in Cheltenham this year, they had the lowest recorded crowd since 1993. So the time really is ticking on the industry, and the faster that we can make this transition happen, the safer these animals will be.
Brilliant. Claudia, thank you so much for coming on and highlighting that issue and about the Grand National and horse racing in general. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Cheers. So that's Claudia Penna Rojas, who's part of the campaign group Animal Rising, calling for a complete ban on horse racing with the lens of the Grand National, which is coming up tomorrow. So yeah, an important issue.